Anglo Saxons. Over the course of the 5th and 6th centuries, the British were overwhelmed by peoples coming from the North Sea region of Northern Europe, including Jutes, Angles, and Saxons. These peoples are referred to as Anglo-Saxon, and they settled south of Hadrian's Wall because they were lowland rather than upland people, and were looking for farming land. Their society was founded on loyalty to the family, or clan, and the center of communal life was the hall, which was the place where they gathered and swore loyalty to the chiefs in return for their protection. By the beginning of the 7th century, the boundaries of the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms, known as the Heptarchy, or Seven Kingdoms, had formed. They continued without changing until 829, when the Kingdom of Wessex became the most important. The Christianization. While the Romans had introduced Christianity to Britain, the Anglo-Saxons reintroduced pagan values. In 597, Pope Gregory I the Great sent a monk, Augustine, to bring Christianity back to England. Augustine's mission of Christianization was successful. The Cathedral of Canterbury was founded in 602, and Augustine became the first Archbishop of Canterbury, which was and still is the most important role within the Church in England. As a consequence of Christianization, England joined Europe's ecclesiastical culture. The monasteries became important cultural centers. The Church educated the people and offered them efficient public administration. In the monastery of Lindisfarne, founded in 635 off the northeast coast of England, the monks produced illuminated Gospels, which are now on display at the British Library in London. In 685, a new monastery was founded on the River Tyne at Yarrow, where the scholar Venerable Bede wrote the ecclesiastical history of the English people. The ecclesiastical history of English people was completed in 731. Bede used the word Angleland for the first time and applied some chronology to the birth of the country. That is why he is regarded as the father of English history. But now let's speak about the Danes. While the Anglo-Saxons were farmers, their Scandinavian neighbors, the Vikings, whom the English commonly called Danes, were sea people. They crossed the Atlantic on their long ships looking for treasure, cattle, and slaves. They then set up colonies, creating a Norseman culture round the coast of Europe. In 793, they sacked Lindisfarne, destroying hundreds of manuscripts and taking the monks as slaves. By the early years of the 9th century, the Viking invasion of Britain became an occupation. The Vikings began to settle and intermarry. They established Dane law, which was a code of Danish laws, but also came to describe the area administrated by the Danes in northern and eastern England. When they reached Wessex, however, they met with opposition from King Ethelred and his brother Alfred. Alfred was known as Alfred the Great. When Ethelred died in 871, Alfred became King of Wessex. King Alfred defeated the Danish commander Guthrum at the Battle of Edington in 878. He reorganized the army of Wessex by demanding one soldier from each freeman's farm as a tribute. He built fortresses and planned a navy with longships. He established his capital at Winchester and invited scholars from the continent. Latin texts were translated into Anglo-Saxon, and the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle was commissioned in 890. But then, when Alfred died in 899, his son Edward and then his grandson Athelstan succeeded to the throne. In 991, the Vikings organized a further attack, but the English responded by paying money, or Danegeld, to be left alone. In 1015, there was another Danish invasion, and the Viking Empire now extended from the Wessex through Denmark to the north of Norway. This marked the beginning of the collapse of Saxon England. So the last Anglo-Saxon king was Harold, Earl of Wessex, in 1066. Harold managed to defeat the Danes in the north of England, but then had to march south to fight William, Duke of Normandy, who was claiming the English throne. At the famous Battle of Hastings in 1066, Harold was killed and the Anglo-Saxons were conquered by the Normans.